Alright, so this is the next battle report, Demons versus Warriors of Chaos. This is going to be 2400s, ETC Comp, and it's going to be a crazy game. So for those of you who don't know, ETC Comp is the European Circuit Challenge. It's mainly what they use for tournaments over in Europe when they do all the shenanigans over there, and it's also what the USA team and the Bragging Rights Tournament uses for this country. So for those of you who don't know, it heavily comps Magic and also Death Stars, and it just makes the game a little bit more viable on a team perspective. So this is the overlay of the board. It is me. If you watch my videos, you pretty much know what I have. It is 2 single beasts of Nurgle. I've got my 2 units of 3 flies with poison. Got my 2 solo beasts of Nurgle. I got my 2 big blocks of Plague Bearers. I got my Skull Cannon. Got my Great Unclean One. And the Warriors I'll go through in a second. So we're playing the 2 hills, the 2 forests, and 2 impassables. So deployment, what I usually do is I usually throw down my Beasts of Nurgle as strong, heavy chaff blocks that I want to block something up with against Warriors, because Nurgle is -1 to hit, I'm toughness 5, it's really hard to kill for me. Even with the new fact changes to make sure that Crumble, you still get the overrun, it's still heavy to have Beast of Nurgle in your front, and with regen, it's pretty hard to bring these guys down. So my deployment is like this. I got a single Beast of Nurgle, my 25 block of Plague Bearers, and my Herald. Got my Skull Cannon, my Great Unclean One behind the hill. I got my 30 block of Plague Bearers with my BSB. Got my flies, my other flies, my double Beast of Nurgle, and my single Beast of Nurgle. So over on the Warriors of Chaos side, he's got a Slaneesh Chariot behind the hill. He's got his Hell Cannon right on the tip of the hill so he can still shoot. He's got the 3 Blood Crushers there. Those are Blood Knight models with like Charioteer heads and Marauder weapons. They're pretty well converted, but he likes to keep the army away from the Juggernauts because of how bulky they look, and he doesn't think they're very warrior-like, so he uses these instead, but they're still Juggernauts. Alright, then he's got 2 Redirector Dogs. He's got a Corn Chariot. The Corn Chariot is a guy with the Halberd. He's got a big block of Warriors of Tzeentch. He's also in there on the top right. You can't really see him really well because I suck at taking pictures. There's an Exalted Hero with the 3-up ward and a Great Weapon. Now, you don't think that he would be that good, but he proves himself late in the game several times. And then he's got his Slaneesh Demon Prince. Now, this Demon Prince is kitted out just like normally you would see him, with Soul Feeder and the +1 war or +1 save, the Sword of Striking, everything that a Nurgle one would take. But he's a level 4 Slaneesh, so keep that in mind when he starts casting spells and becoming a real problem for me. And he's got another Slaneesh Chariot on the right. And then over in the corner, he's got his BSB attached to some trolls, and also his mage level 2, I think Death, or Metal or something. It doesn't matter. He doesn't do anything with him. Behind there, too. So, Demons win turn to go first. I move up like such. I'm going to throw myself forward. I really wanted to get in the way of those Skull Crushers and those Chariots. I gave everything a pretty long charge. The Skull Crushers I only gave like a 7, because if they go after the double Beast of Nurgle, they're not going to kill them. And he's going to get flank charged by the flies. Or he can go after the single, and he'll be Frenzy, and he'll probably kill me, but he'll overrun out of the way, he'll run into the woods, take some dangerous terrain, he'll be out of the game for a little bit. So I'm okay with that. Over here, my flies move up. So you can see the impassable piece of terrain. Now, what I was trying to do here is, what I do in a lot of my games, is I put the flies so they can still see majority of the table through the passable. But because it blocks off so much, they can't really get charged. But because they can fly, they can charge out of it. So if you get what I mean, it's me abusing the flying rule. Over here, everything moves up as such. The cannon moves up on top of the hill so it can shoot. Plague Bearer units move up. Great Unclean One moves up. And over here, my guy is going to go block off these trolls down the alleyway, and he's going to get beaten up by some troll thugs in a minute. So, magic phase, I get off Curse of the Leper, and then that is it on the Demon Prince, just to make sure he doesn't want to come into anything, because being Slaneesh, I am hitting on 4s, and with poison on 5-ups, that can really hurt when you're toughness 2, I think. It didn't really matter, he didn't charge. So the Blood Crushers do fail their Frenzy, and they have to go after the single guy, and they do that. which is alright. I'm okay with that. The BSB charges out of the unit into my single beast Nurgle, which I thought was extremely weird, because I was thinking the trolls only had like an 8-inch charge or something, but he was deciding to do this instead. I don't know why. I think because he knew I can challenge the BSB out, it didn't really matter either way, but he does this. And then everything starts moving up like everything else. The Chariot of Slaneesh falls up behind the Blood Crushers, the Hell Cannon stays where it is. Chariot Corn moves over this way. Dogs move up. Now, he was pretty smart. I've done this to him a couple times before with an impassable terrain trick, but he made it so I couldn't fit my flies on the other side, and he only gave me flank charges, and because I'm in his flank, I can't fit there, so I can't charge. So this is my opponent knowing how to play against me and abusing knowing how to play against me. His warriors actually back up a little bit, I think, or they stayed where they are. Well, they didn't move forward. He knew that my Great Unclean One's movement 6, and if he gets into them, they're dead. Even the Exalted with a 3 aboard, I've got enough attacks, and with the Thunderstomp, if I go into a challenge with him, he's going to die. So Neshi Chariot moves up a little bit. Demon Prince flies all the way over here, and he's going to start being really abusive really quick, and the Trolls move up, and the Mage joins them. So during the Magic phase, I stop everything but Acquiescence. So those of you who don't know what Acquiescence does, it gives the model always strikes last and random movement d6. Now, for those of you who don't know, I rely a lot on my Great Unclean One. He's my level 4 mage, he's my general, and he's also probably one of the killiest characters in the game. He can smack around a Nurgle Demon Prince, no problem. I've never lost combat one-on-one with him. This is going to be a problem, because honestly, this spell lost me the game. He's being only movement d6, and it's random, and I have to nominate the direction I go, so I have no reliable knowledge of how he's going to move. Hell Cannon shoots, Eclipse, the Plague Bearer unit kills a couple. Skull Crushers only do 1 wound to Beast of Nurgle. Beast of Nurgle proving its worth here. As always, Beast of Nurgle are amazing. They always make up their points. You should always take a lot of them. Beast of Nurgle here also takes a wound, and does a wound back to the BSB, even more surprising, so I'm completely okay with that. He's locked up this alleyway, the trolls aren't getting past, they can't fit, and I'm loving it. So, Demons turn 2, Cannon backs up a little bit, everything else moves around. Great Unclean One shifts over so I can start shooting magic over the Demon Prince, hoping to pop him off with some lucky Ransom Visitations, Curse of the Leper combo, but because he's not getting far forward. Everything else moves up, the flies move up. Oh, that's right. The flies actually could charge the dogs on the right. They could fit one guy in, so I charged there. And the flies could also charge the dogs in the rear, we found out. We played this a little bit off. So he fled from that, and I failed charge, and I moved forward a little bit there. And the 2 Beasts of Nurgle go into Skull Crushers here. I'm thinking, he only did a wound. I can charge in. I'm going to have a charge, and I could do a wound or 2, and he might do a wound or 2 back, but again, I'm really just trying to lock these things up. Those Skull Crushers are locked up with equal amount of points almost, so, and I'm okay with keeping those Skull Crushers away from me for now. So after combat, after magic, of course, doesn't work. He lets one through and stops the other, or he stops the one and lets the other one through. It doesn't matter. The dogs break. I only do 1 wound, but whatever, I still break them. I fail to run them down, and this is going to be a common occurrence through this game, is I never catch anything this game. It just sucks. So dogs run. The Beast of Nurgle flops his attacks, and then I roll like an 11. So he melts, unfortunately. So that sucks. As you can see, I got off Curse of the Leper first full strength, but he stopped Ransom Visitation, so it didn't really matter. Over here, the Skull Crushers took 2 wounds from my Beast of Nurgle charging in, and did 1 wound back to the single. And with both of them chasing, I don't catch him. This sucks. This was my one shot to catch him. Beat the Skull Crushers. I would have taken 2 wounds on a 60-point model for about 180 points with Skull Crushers. That would have been a great trade. And now I'm also, with my double, I'm into the Slaneesh Chariot. So I'm okay with this for now, because he might fail his rally and run off the board. Because if he doesn't run off the board, I'm going to charge him off. but whatever. Demon Prince comes into my cannon. This isn't good. I do have hatred against him because he is Slaneesh, and I'm strength 5. I could do some damage, and Curse of the Leper is still on him, so he's only toughness 2 right now. The chariot for Corn makes like an 11-inch charge because it failed its frenzy check into the flies. This sucks. Whatever. Blah. I'm probably gonna kill it eventually, but just. Ugh. The Skull Crushers make their rally. Whatever. They needed a 9. They're good. BSB moves up. Trolls move up. They're gonna corner my big Plague Bear unit and just abuse it if they can. Great Unclean One shambles around with Acquiescence still on him because he casts it again. And then he casts Choir on my cannon and does 2 wounds and always strikes last. That really sucks. I've got 2 wounds left. I've only got a 3-up armor, so he's going to take me to a 6-up armor and then a 5-up ward. I'm probably not going to live. And I don't, of course. I was really bummed about that because even though he had put Acquiescence on the Great Unclean One, he was within 3 inches of the Great Unclean One, and because of the random move, I don't need to be in the front arc to charge him because of that rule. So I was kind of bummed that that didn't work, because I would have killed his Demon Prince there if he didn't kill me. Over here, he does a lot of wounds to the flies. I do a couple back. He wins combat. Over here, I break the Slaneesh chariot and fail to run it down again. The beasts are here. I think I do like 2 wounds to it, but whatever. Hope it doesn't rally. Over here, I shuffle to the right. I gotta deal with these trolls and the BSB and the mage. They're gonna be a problem. My big block moves forward. I think I can take the warriors with it. I'm at like 27, I think. And there's about 15 warriors. And with my BSB in there with the Fencer's Blades, I think I can take the Exalted on. He's only hitting on 5s, and he's wounding on 3s. Or 2s, actually, never mind. He's wounding on 2s, but I'm poisoned on 5 up. Weapon skill 10, so I'm hitting on 3s. The Exalted only has a 5-up armor and then a 3-up ward, so it's just ward. So I've got 4 attacks. I can get pretty lucky and get some through, and he could flop his attacks with only having 3 or 4 or whatever, but it's enough that I take the odds. I make one more desperate attempt to finish off these Skull Crushers. They're not friends anymore. I charge in both units. I've got a charge, and I've got the hill bonus. So I'm up 2 from combat res already. So I'm really, really hoping to kill one, because they have 2 wounds on them. So if I pop one off, I'm at 3, and I'm just hoping he doesn't wound me. Magic phase, I think I shoot off the 1 dogs, and then I run the dogs off. No, this isn't magic phase. This is still charge phase. The flies that were chasing the dogs earlier chase one of the unit's dogs off, and that unit's running. The flies go off the board. Over here, just stupid wounds from this Corn Chariot. It keeps killing flies. I keep failing ward saves, and he's rolling well. And I'm probably going to lose this. Over here, I flop my attacks. He doesn't do anything to me. I don't do anything to him. He's steadfast, unfortunately, and he makes his leadership 8 or whatever. Ugh. Warriors turn 3. Dogs fail to rally. They run off the board. The Chariot rallies. Ugh. Another rally. And stuff moves around like this. The Chariot moves up, shuffles a little bit. The Mage shuffles a little bit out of the Troll unit. He's just trying to stay away. Warriors are sitting in the woods, and this was another thing. The Warriors are in the woods, so they can't be steadfast, and they don't get rank bonus. So if I charge him, neither of us have ranks, which I'm okay with, because I'm pretty sure we would cancel anyways. But I'll have a charge. I'll have 2 banners, because it's my BSB unit. So I'm up 3 just from static. I'm hoping I can do, like, 2 wounds less than him. So I'll still win by 1, and he'll break on a 7 or whatever. But I'm really taking a gambit with this. I know, looking back now, I should have charged that Chariot and gotten out of the way of the Warriors, because the Warriors weren't going to be aggressive. He's scared to go after me, because if he flops, I'm going to run it down. The Trolls start running away from my big unit, because they know they can't get away from the Great Unclean One and the big unit, so he's making me chase him as far as possible away from the big combat. Demon Prince and BSB move behind the lines. They're just playing around with me. They're making sure to stay out of the line, and they just don't want to get charged. Demons He failed. Oh, this is why. He fails to cast Acquiescence or Curson of Esquire this turn, so I get the free move, but this is the move that I don't really need it. Whatever. Demons combat, our Warriors combat. He kills a lot of Beasts of Nurgle. I don't do anything to him. I lose combat. I lose a couple more wounds. Over here, I think we pillow fight again. We smack each other. I poison him. I think 1 wound. He loses combat, but he sticks. Demons turn 4. I make this big charge. I'm going to kill these things. I know I am. I'm going to run them down at the worst, and I'm finally going to get some points. I make this charge because my flies come in at the end of the turn, and I moved behind him, so even if, just in the slightest chance if he runs, he only needs a 4 to not to get to the flies. So anything over a 4, and he'll run off the board because he'll pop through the flies. Anything, and I'm hoping, hey, if he rolls a 4, I should be able to catch him. So this is my worry here, is I flop my attacks, and he doesn't run, and then I get flank charged by this chariot. And that's what happens. That's the end of the combat. He kills the BSB. No magic was done because my Grand Cleveland's on the other side of the board. No shooting's done. The Skull Cannon's dead. And I'm disgusted. He kills my BSB in a challenge. I do 1 wound to him. I was so close. And I think I kill like 1 warrior. Ugh. Over here, the fly finally kills the chariot. I'm really excited about this, but again, this was on my turn, so BSB is going to charge me and finish me off. I get to kill a Juggernaut, but he kills me, and I lose combat again and melt some more. And now I just opened up the charge for his chariot, so that's a dead Beast Nurgle. And Warriors turn 4, that's what he does. He charges in. I'm going to get impact hits to death. Charges over here with his BSB. This is going to go really badly. He's got +2 combat res already, and I'm a single fly. The trolls get run down, thank God. I got some points, but the Great Unclean One is now pretty much out of the battle, unfortunately, and so is this big unit. I don't run musicians in my army. I think they're a waste of points. The only time I've really ever needed them is to Swift Reform, and I don't even do it that often, but I played the movement phase awful for this game, so that's a slap on my hand. Chariot goes into them. Yeah, that's a big dead unit. After this is Warrior's turn 4. He doesn't move anything. He's content to just sit. Or he charged the chariot, and that's what he did. He put the mage behind my flies, and he casts Choir on the flies as well. He puts on a couple wounds. But now what he did is, this is the key part, Choir also adds the D6 random movement to the flies. So now I'm 4 inches away from the Warriors. So I need to roll a 4 up just to get into a charge with them. So that really saved him there. He puts a wound on me over here. I don't break. That's nice. Beast over here. I only take a wound, but I'm still going to die eventually. I'm not going to wound anything back. And here, I try to charge with my flies on Demon's turn 5, and I get a 3. So I don't get in. I'm in the woods. My Plague Bearers are just dying left and right. The Chariot's in there with them. They're getting stomped. Warriors aren't dying at all. I think I killed 1 more. Just bad news. Great Unclean One unit try and get to the combat as quickly as possible. Just running forward. Fly takes another wound in the combat. This is Demon's turn. Magic is not doing anything. The beast over here finally gets popped off. Blah, whatever. Here, I cast Curse of the Leper a little bit too late. There's only 3 left. And it's not going to matter even if they're toughness 7. He's going to get 3 wounds by. And I'm probably not going to make them because I haven't been making ward saves all this game. Warriors turn 5. Everything starts moving in to close up. It might as well. There's no threat to these things. He charges the rear of the flies here. He's just hoping to hold him up for my turn so I don't get in the rear of the warriors, just in case. And he's pretty safe for me. He's a 1-up armor save mage. I've only taken him down to 3-up, so. Demon Prince taunts my Great Unclean when he moves 7 inches away. So he knows even if he gets Acquiescence off, I can't get to him because of the random movement. I can only get a 6, so he does that just to annoy me. He plays with me a lot, so this is this guy getting back at me for all my little things. The flies get demolished in the combat. The plague bearers get demolished in the combat. Those two banners are representing he got the banners. And he turns around to charge the flies. I'm in trouble. Beast B over here kills the final fly. That's expected. And I get charged. The flies actually get to hold here because flies are skirmishers, and I am in the woods, and skirmishers are stubborn in woods, so I was able to survive this. So Warriors win 15-5. Oh, God, this game. So out of all the times I've played Warriors, I usually manhandle them. The Great Unclean One tears through Warriors like nobody's business. The Demon Prince doesn't bother me because Demon Prince -1 to hit, and I have a 5-up ward. It just doesn't kill things quickly enough to matter to me. And the Beast and Nurgle will hold it forever, and the Flies will hold it for a while. So, this Slaneesh list really gave me problems. My army wins through the support of the Flies and the Beasts, not one-on-one. My entire game with Beasts, they sent over on the left flank, dealing with the Hell Cannon, the Chariot, and the Skull Crushers. I should never do that. I will never win them one-on-one. I was really lucky to break them the 2 times I did. I didn't deserve a third. The Flies also. I spent the entire game chasing down 1 unit of dogs with Flies, and then the other one got charged by a Chariot and traded there. So, not a good game for me there. Great Unclean One being acquiescence the entire time by the Slaneesh lore means he stayed within like a 12-inch range the entire game. He never left within, I think he never left 8 inches of that hill where I started him. So being able to only move with random movement D6 sucks, especially with a super combat character like that. So I could definitely see the Slaneesh lore used on Warriors versus Warriors to fight the Demon Prince of Nurgle like this, because you only need to get one of those spells through, and especially the Choir spell, it's 2d6 strength or 2d6 hits, wounds on 4-up, no armor. That could easily kill a Demon Prince, easily kill a Great Unclean One. Luckily, that was the one I was stopping, but I can't stop both that and acquiescence. So my opponent deserved his win. He fought me, and I didn't show up like I usually do. I flopped my movement phase, and I got manhandled. That's one of the few times I can own up to it. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the report, and I'll get another one out soon.